America's farm and home store.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Attorney Tom McIntyre.
Life. It may knock you down, but you don't have to stay that way. I'm Tom McIntyre. I'm a bankruptcy attorney, and I'm here to help you. Give us a call, and we'll send you a copy of my free book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. It's an interesting read, and it'll explain bankruptcy to you like no other book does. Give us a call. We're here to help.
Call Thomas E. McIntyre and Associates at 304-232-8600. Allow us to help put you back on the road to financial success.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts. The best in live and local talk returns momentarily on The Watchdog. The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
All right, listen up, you guys. Morning.
Morning.
Wake. It's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
I am loving the sound of your voice.
Good morning, sunshine.
Crank up the radio.
You all ready for the big show?
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
And action.
Okay, let's do it. Hey, guys. You ready to let the dogs out?
All right, let's do this.
Yes, we are ready to let the dogs out.
Well, what are we waiting for?
It's showtime.
Conversations you care about with people you know. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe on WKKX and WVLY.
It's 44 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 40 at the home studios here in Elm Grove, and 42 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. A little cloudier today than it was yesterday, but still some sunshine making it through pretty much throughout the day. So we'll call it a mixture of sun and clouds, maybe leaning more towards the sun, but do expect a little bit more clouds than we had yesterday. Pardon me, slight chance of a stray shower coming in this evening, but no big deal there. Daytime high 62, indeed going to be a warm week all week. As we mentioned yesterday, going to be up close to 70 by Friday, in the 60s all week, 70 by Friday. Drop down to the 50s, but only the 50s for the weekend. So it's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be a good week coming up. Get out and do something. So, Biff, I really enjoyed retirement yesterday. I tell you, when I took a little walk, like 5 steps down the street. That's a little walk for me. I sat out on the glider and just, took a little extra nap outside and played with my grandson. Teddy was still here today. He goes back to school, but yesterday was his last day of spring break, so we played a bit and, had an extra cup of coffee and all the things you do in your retirement. If you just joined us, I announced my official retirement as of yesterday at 10 o'clock. I did retire officially yesterday at 10 o'clock. And in the spirit of Tom Brady this morning, I announced I'm coming out of retirement. But boy, it was a refreshing retirement. Biff, it was really good. You got to give it a try sometime. Just that retirement made me feel good. No burdens on my back, nothing to worry about. And I just felt like a free man, being retired for 20 hours. You want to give it a try, Biff?
No, that's okay. Although it was a nice day for it yesterday.
And although I don't think he was aware of the Tom Brady bit that I did yesterday and today, that I'm retiring like Brady and coming back and so on. Last night we're playing video games, and little Teddy, my grandson, and it's one of those deals where he's still playing, just look at the screen. He's not really looking at me, and he goes, Granddad, are you going to, he called it rehire, by the way, but he said, Granddad, are you going to rehire pretty soon? I said, what? He said, you know, where you don't go to work anymore. Are you going to rehire? I said, you mean retire? Yes. Are you going to retire pretty soon? I said, oh, well, you know, I'm not sure, Teddy, why? And this is the thing that strikes at the heart of parents and grandparents. He says, well, Granddad, if you would rehire, meaning retire, if you would rehire, you wouldn't have to take all those phone calls during the day, and then you could play with me more, wouldn't you? I was like, oh, jeez. I had a bunch of phone calls yesterday I had to deal with, and he was really ready to play when he got here, and he just stood and looked at me, and then he would come in and kind of just very quietly go, are you off the phone? No, Granddad, he's back on the phone again. So it's the kind of thing that just slices your heart, you know. Granddad, if you would retire, then you wouldn't have to take those phone calls, and you could just play with me all day long. So, Teddy, I joked about it on the radio today, but honestly, that's the best reason to retire right there, that you just want me to play with you. So here we are, the unretired, or I like Teddy's phrase, the rehired. You retired, then you rehire. So I am rehired and ready to roll for a Tuesday edition of the Watchdog Morning Show. Hey, if you want to text me, you can. Always available on the text line at 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. The CityNet hotline is also available. That's the line where you can call in and we can talk as long as we have time, as long as we're not running up on a guest or something of that nature. Love to hear from you. 304-214-1600 is the text line. 304-232-8255 is the CityNet hotline. Off the text line, Howard, happy you are not retiring. I certainly would miss you. Oh, that's a nice way to start today. A really pleasant comment like that. Also off the text line, damn it, Howard, don't kid about retirement. Me and the boys were partying at the bar all afternoon after hearing your announcement yesterday. See, that's what I got yesterday, Biff. I got half the people saying, hey, it's great that you're retiring, go away, leave the valley alone. We're a better place without you. And then people telling me they were missing me. So anyways, it was nice. My 20-hour retirement was a good retirement. And like many a person, after a short period of retirement, I decided I better just get back to business. Let's see. Your back. Burden on your back. If you had to depend on your back, your wife would have come out of retirement. See, you know, you people, you just don't need to criticize me quite that much. I don't get around as much as I used to, as well as I used to. Yeah, my back's a little bit of a problem, and many other things as well. Even again, back to my grandson, even Teddy yesterday, we were playing a little game. It was a hide-and-seek game or something, and so I was going around the house and hiding things and looking for him like he wanted me to. And even this 7-year-old looks at me and goes, Granddad, you're doing better. Granddad, you're moving a little faster. And he, for some reason, has come to believe that what makes me better and makes me move faster is 7-Up. I think one time he must have brought me a 7-Up, and I drank it, and then I got up and started walking around. He said, Granddad, you're doing better. I think it's the 7-Up. When you have 7-Up, you move better. I will get you another 7-Up. And he went and got me a 7-Up to drink. So, and those are the things that you live for. Those are the things you retire for. But here I am, rehired, in his words, and back to business this morning. What's this morning all about? Well, of course, I'm back to business, coming out of retirement already. Multiple education bills were introduced into the legislature this year. Everything from a teacher pay raise to the anti-racism bill to some things dealing with their benefits to maybe trying to get control of the school boards at the legislative level through a constitutional amendment. Lots and lots of bills were introduced. having to do with education. Some of them passed, some of them didn't. WVEA President Dale Lee coming in later on today to give us his assessment of how educators fared by the sine die announcement on Saturday. They used to be called earmarks, but that phrase fell out of favor in the nation's capitals. Earmarks kind of sounded like graft, kind of like something of the past. And so we didn't hear a lot about earmarks for a long time. People in West Virginia, some of our elected officials, once upon a time, like Alan Mullihan and Robert Byrd, were masters of earmarks, bringing money back to this local area. But then earmarks kind of faded away. Now, however, they're called congressionally directed spending. They're just earmarks under a different name. Wheeling is looking at nearly $4 million for special projects under these congressionally directed spending, and we'll take a look at that. What are the best states for seeing ghosts or seeing UFOs? And whatever happened to that Pentagon report on UFOs last year? We'll talk about that coming up a bit later on this morning. And coming up top of the morning after we take a break, the Ukrainian president says Russia is committing war crimes. The U.S. is seeking ways to help the Ukraine without direct engagement with Russia. Dave McKinley offers some comments on the Ukrainian issue. And Elon Musk challenges Putin to a duel. God help us. We'll have a Ukrainian update coming up in just a minute. And a bit later on, our Pentagon correspondent, Tom Squidieri, will join us with the latest. So, welcome to my return from retirement day here on the Watchdog Morning Show. It's 7:19, 19 after the hour. 44 outside, going to get to 62 before the day is over and done with, and it's going to be a pretty nice day today. We're going top of the morning to the Ukraine coming up next on the Watchdog Morning Show.
Coming up on Metro News Hotline.
If you can come back with top of the morning. Thank you, sir.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
Too many West Virginia families trying to go to sleep tonight won't be able to. They'll be worried about their kids, their families, their ability to make ends meet. And for far too many, they'll be worried about the rising costs of prescription drugs. It doesn't have to be this way. These patients know the system doesn't work for them. West Virginians pay 3 times more for medicines than people in other countries. So more than 4 in 10 West Virginians skip doses of medication or don't even fill their prescriptions. They can't afford it. While these West Virginia families stay up at night, the big drug companies continue to make record-breaking profits. It just isn't right. That's why we need our Senator Joe Manchin to support the Build Back Better Act, which gives Medicare the power to negotiate lower drug prices. Senator Manchin said he is with us in this fight, and West Virginia families are counting on him to deliver. It's time to pass Build Back Better now. Paid for by Protect Our Care.
We are compassionate.
We are focused.
We are confident.
We are dependable. We are resilient.
We are skilled.
We are empathetic.
We are knowledgeable.
We are respectful.
We are here.
For you and your family.
We are close to home. We are
WVU Medicine.
You can listen to The Watchdog on your Amazon personal assistant. Just say, Alexa, play WKKX from TuneIn, or play WVLY from TuneIn.
Top of the morning to you. These are the big stories making news and conversation today on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Well, we're going to continue talking about the invasion in Ukraine by Russia, a couple of different aspects of it. The Big Seven had an interview with Dave McKinley on this yesterday, and he says that he disagrees with the United States' lack of involvement in the war. McKinley says he doesn't think the United States is doing enough, and he says President Biden is using the war as an excuse. Quoting McKinley through the Big Seven, I'm very concerned about the government of Ukraine. Russia seems to be developing, circling around Kyiv and the Ukraine and just taking it over. We need to be tightening up. Sanctions are one thing. I've supported stronger sanctions. What we need to do for America is not only have the sanctions on Russia, but we need an equal and opposite increase in our oil and gas production. We need to put our people to work. With due respect to Dave McKinley, I think this is a perfect example of why we're too political in this world. It is as if he wants to say, I support the Ukraine, which he should, and he wants to say that we as a country should support the Ukraine, which we should, but then he's got to somehow dig it in and make it a Biden story. Is there an issue of oil and gas production in our own country? Quoting McKinley, do we have to put our people to work? Okay, but that's really a different issue. Can you not just say, I support our president in his effort to support the people of Ukraine? I mean, is that hard? It used to be a pretty standard thing. When the issue became international relations, and particularly in a time of war, it used to be the norm that we, Democrats, Republicans alike, would stand behind the policy of the country. So with due respect to Dave McKinley, I think this is an attempt to try to thread the needle, try to make politics out of an issue that should not be political. McKinley went on to say we should assist Ukraine with technology and give them our support. But however, McKinley says there's no interest in putting U.S. troops overseas. And there comes the rub, not with McKinley, but there comes the rub in general. I'm hearing more and more people saying, well, why aren't we getting more actively involved? Why aren't we doing more in giving more actual material to Ukraine? The issue of the fighter jets that Poland offered to give to us, who would then give to the Ukrainians, and we rejected the idea. Why is that? Well, the concern basically is that we can't afford, we, the United States, at this stage of the game, are trying desperately to avoid a direct conflict with Russia. Now, we are supporting Ukraine, and Russia is attacking Ukraine, so we are indirectly opposing Russia, and we're putting sanctions on Russia and so on. But we have not yet engaged in direct conflict with them. And the NATO forces and the United States are trying our best to not do that. We're going to get down that issue a bit more coming up in the next hour when Tom Squitieri is with us, our national correspondent, to talk about why exactly aren't we doing more in the way of providing material and so on. Now, on the really bizarre sideline of the news in the Ukraine, Elon Musk, the head honcho and chief bigwig of Tesla and that SpaceX project as well, he tweeted out he challenged Putin to a duel yesterday, basically. Musk tweeted out, quote, I hereby challenge Vladimir Putin to single combat. The stakes are Ukraine. Not long after that, he tweeted out again, tagging the Kremlin this time, so the Kremlin will be sure to see it, and asking, in Russia, do you agree to this fight? This is like, this whole story, which I will continue with, this is like something out of a movie. So Elon Musk, businessman, head of SpaceX, tweets out to Vladimir Putin, put up the dukes, I'll give it to you. Let's fight for Ukraine. He gets a response from the head of the Russian Space Agency who says, quote, this is a translation, you little devil, you're still young. Compete with me, you weakling. This isn't funny, but doesn't this sound like something from a movie? Compete with me, you weakling, me strong. The Ukrainian vice prime minister noticed Musk's challenge and tweeted out, I am sure that Elon Musk can send Putin to Jupiter, meaning on his SpaceX rocket. What in the world prompts Elon Musk to decide he's going to challenge Putin to a fist fight? Oh, my God. Back at home, Governor Justice wants to spend $5 million on a Ukrainian maternity wing. Not a totally bad idea, I guess. He offered a letter to the state legislature, he being Governor Justice, offered a letter to the state legislature that the state of West Virginia would send $5 million to help build a maternity wing in Ukraine. This comes after a Russian airstrike destroyed a maternity hospital earlier this week. Ukrainian officials say at least 17 people were wounded in that strike. Governor Justice says West Virginia could take money out of the surplus fund and not even miss it. Americans should stand up and stand with Ukraine, said the governor. And it's a small gesture that West Virginia can give. Part of me wants to chuckle about that, and part of me wants to say, that's not we're looking for ways to help the Ukrainian people. Helping them rebuild a destroyed maternity hospital might be of value. The governor says, of course, this is not something we would do until after the invasion in Ukraine is actually dealt with. But it's an interesting concept. The West Virginia legislature passed a resolution of support for the people of Ukraine in their controversial recent session. And Russia continued its bombardment of Ukrainian cities yesterday, including that of some of the suburbs of Kyiv. Some targets were hit inside Kyiv, the capital city, as well. So the invasion is continuing. Our team from ABC News will bring us up to speed now on the latest happening in the Ukraine.
As Russia continues its relentless bombardment of Kyiv and troops continue to close in, the city's mayor is setting a 35-hour curfew. In Mariupol, Ukraine, more than 2,000 people have reportedly died, but Ukrainian officials say they managed to hold off Russia's latest attempt to take control of the city. Violence in Ukraine continues, with the number of refugees now more than 2.9 million, says the UN. Dave Packer, ABC News.
All right, more on the Ukraine coming up next hour with a conversation from Tom Squitieri, our Pentagon correspondent. ABC continues the coverage throughout the day today, at the top of the hour, every hour, and at half past the hour throughout the morning with more information on our status updates. We'll keep you on top of what's happening in the Ukraine every way that we can. We'll keep you up to date on what's happening here in the Ohio Valley as well. To help us do that, our friends from TV7 are here with some headlines. Mr. DeFabio has our morning sports report for us, and then Aaron Myler will join us for a fairly pleasant forecast. It's all coming up as the Watchdog Morning Show continues on a Tuesday. It is 7:32.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from...
offense DUI, driving while license suspended for DUI, no proof of insurance, possession of a controlled substance, and residency of drug abuse instruments. Police say Tomaselli's pickup truck crashed into the United Bank, causing extensive damage to the building. Weirton police say no other passengers were in the vehicle and no injuries were reported. Marshall County Schools revealed a new community outreach program to help people understand the problems children face on a daily basis. LOOK, which is an acronym for Looking Out for Our Kids, debuts today in the John Marshall High School Center for Performing Arts from 5:30 to 7:30. The inaugural event will feature 3 guest speakers focusing on 3 different but related topics. The event is free to attend and open to the public. Let's look at your headlines. Have a great day, everyone.
Steeler Nation, are you ready? For quarterback Mitchell Trubisky, he's the newest addition to the Pittsburgh Steelers roster. He's played for the Chicago Bears and the Buffalo Bills. He has signed a 2-year deal with Pittsburgh. Mitchell's career record in the National Football League, 29-21. By the way, he was a Pro Bowler back in 2018. Pittsburgh Penguins are back in tonight when they visit Nashville. The Predators have won 4 of their last games. In their last 5 games, the Penguins are 3-1-1. By the way, the Penguins have a tremendous road record, 19-6-4. And Jake Getzel, the All-Star, leads the Penguins with goals. He has 28. A fan favorite many years ago, Andrew McCutchen, the former Pirate, who won an MVP award in 2013, has agreed to terms with the Milwaukee Brewers. The 35-year-old will officially join Milwaukee after he completes a physical. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
Hey, man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey, Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Attorney Tom McIntyre.
Life. It may knock you down, but you don't have to say that way. I'm Tom McIntyre. I'm a bankruptcy attorney, and I'm here to help you. Give us a call, and we'll send you a copy of my free book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. It's an interesting read, and it'll explain bankruptcy to you like no other book does. Give us a call. We're here to help.
Call Thomas E. McIntyre and Associates at 304-232-8600. Allow us to help put you back on the road to financial success.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Wheeling Coin and Hobby on 10th Street in Wheeling, next to the Bridge Tavern in downtown Wheeling, wants to buy any and all unwanted gold and silver jewelry. They are paying top dollar for 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat gold, plus 925 sterling silver. They also want to buy collectible coins and paper money from before 1933. Wheeling Coin and Hobby is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Coin and Hobby, 304-232-8430, and add them on Facebook.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
West Virginia Outdoors is the Mountain State's only hook and bullet radio show, dedicated to the more than 250,000 hunters and anglers across the state. Award-winning host Chris Lawrence has been tracking down hunting and fishing stories for more than 25 years.
Went in behind a little birch tree at its head. I reached down and got the bow positioned and found its horns and dropped down and shot it in the neck.
Whether it's hunting and fishing news,
it tracks real super well, but not with a 60-pound carp tied to the side.
Or just compelling stories about the enjoyment of the great outdoors.
How close did you let him get in before you let fly on him?
He was about 18 yards, Chris. He got turned in the right angle there, and I touched off the trigger. And when I hit him, he ran kind of up the hill, which scared me at first.
West Virginia Outdoors covers it all. Saturday mornings at 7:06 a.m. And for your daily fix, Outdoors Today brings you 2.5 minutes of news and notes from the woods and water every weekday morning. No one covers the great outdoors like Chris Lawrence. And Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Every weeknight at 6 p.m., join the voice of the Mountaineers, Tony Caridi, on The Watchdog. Tony informs and entertains WVU fans with the latest Mountaineer sports news. If it happens in the world of gold and blue, Tony knows about it and shares it with you. Sportsline, weeknights at 6 on The Watchdog.
He has his say. You can have yours. Text us or call us and join the conversation. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Came across some fun stuff on UFOs and ghosts yesterday. I'm going to share that with you coming up a little bit later on this morning here on the Watchdog Morning Show. This is my day after retirement. I retired yesterday morning at 10 o'clock and had a wonderful retirement during the day yesterday, and now in the spirit of Tom Brady, I am back. I have ended my retirement, and I am back here. Although my 7-year-old grandson does tell me he wishes I would retire, and then I could play more time with him and wouldn't have to take phone calls during the day like I do so many times. But I'm back, baby. I'm back. The retirement was wonderful. 20 hours of wonderful retirement, sitting on the swing out front and enjoying the breezes and an extra cup of coffee and all the things you do in retirement. You know, I started to think about planting a garden and all that kind of stuff, and then I realized, well, I probably won't have time for that. I'm only retiring for 20 hours. But here I am, back again. In the words of my grandson again, rehired. You retire and then you rehire. And I learned all of this, of course, from Tom Brady. Off the text line, 304-214-1600. Howard, I need a pick-me-up this morning. I'm going to skip the coffee and try a 7-Up. Yeah, my grandson believes that 7-Up gives his granddaddy extra speed. So he always gets me a 7-Up and says, Granddaddy, this will help make you feel better. And then you will run faster. So 7-Up apparently is the magic cure, according to Teddy. And whatnot, why not? I believe it. Texter says, I'm going to skip the coffee and try a 7-Up. There's no Jack Daniels number 7 up there in your house to go with the 7-Up, is there, Howard? No 7 and 7, just plain old 7. 18 to the hour of the Watchdog Morning Show, weather time. Aaron Myler is here from the Big 7, WTRF TV. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, and I just wanted to say I feel cheated.
You
Because?
retired, and I still had to talk to you both yesterday and today, so I missed that whole period where I could have avoided you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. I retired after we talked, and I have returned from retirement once again. So,
well,
yeah. Yeah, I just felt, in the spirit of Tom Brady, I decided to retire and then come back again. Why not? And
yeah,
who knows? I may do it again someday. Although, I think you and I have talked about this. I know I talked about it on the air a lot. Seriously, I don't know what I would do in retirement. I mean, I really love what I do, and I do it from home, so it's pretty simple and pretty easy. I get up, do my show. The idea of getting up and just sort of wandering around the house and looking at the walls, I don't.
Well, when you have to start golfing.
Well, yeah, and I don't golf. That's a good point. And one of the things most people I know who retire do is they end up going down to that little coffee group at McDonald's where they solve all the problems of the world every morning around a cup of coffee, right? We'll see that, right? Well, I do that anyways, right here. So I don't really need to retire to even do that. So
you have no commute you have to do either. It's easier.
That's
you
right.
Have to go all the way to McDonald's.
No, the coffee is right here. Drinking coffee this morning out of my Watchdog Morning Show coffee mug, and just sitting here at my desk, and life is good. But it was a good retirement yesterday. I enjoyed retirement. Sat on the swing for a little while, played with my grandson, and it was it was all good. You know what else I noticed yesterday, Aaron? Which is, I know we're 2 or 3 days into it now. But it's really, the daylight savings time really struck me last night. First night it really hit me. It's 5 o'clock, 5:30, whatever, and I'm looking outside, and it's still bright sunshine outside.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, we would have been in the pitch darkness. And now at 5 o'clock, 5:30, bright sunshine, it's just amazing. And it changes your attitude, at least mine, it changes your attitude. When it was dark at 5 o'clock, I was like, well, I might as well get my pajamas on. Last night I felt like getting...
I go to bed early, so I am not loving it right now because I used to get to go to bed as it was like setting, so it was fine, or when it was already dark out. And now I used to go to bed I wake up at 1:45 in the morning, so I usually try to go to bed around like 6 o'clock. I can't fall asleep when it's that bright outside, so I keep falling asleep at like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm just tired all day long. So I've decided, I bought on Amazon, I bought one of those face mask things that you wear over your eyes to sleep because it's just too bright. Even with 2 sets of blackout curtains, it's like I have a giant window in my bedroom, and my window faces west, so exactly where the sun is. So I just have no way of avoiding it. So I just decided to just wear a little mask at night, and so we'll see how that helps tonight. That's the only problem I have with it.
I actually have one. I don't wear it very often, but I have one. I was reading just yesterday, as a matter of fact, during my retirement, as an article that said for the best sleep, you want to have literally zero light at all in your room. That any amount of light can seep into your eyes, even when they're closed, and it disturbs your sleep. And last night, with that in mind, as I'm drifting off to sleep, I'm looking just around my bedroom. Now, the lights are off and the sun is down. It's dark outside. But I'm looking, there's the light on my phone. There's the light on my Alexa. There is a light on the answering machine, little red light that's blinking. I have a heart machine that takes, follows my pacemaker. It's got a little light blinking there. I looked around the room and I realized how much light there is in this room at night, even when it's supposedly dark at night. There's just light everywhere.
That's modern day life.
Yeah,
always,
I mean, it's hard to avoid it.
Oh, I find like my alarm clock even, it's like, it depends what side of the bed I sleep on. But like, I find that it's so bright sometimes, and I'll end up waking up in the middle of the night and then turning it, like it turns the brightness down luckily. So I'll turn the brightness down because I'm just like, there's no reason for it to be this bright in the middle of the night. But, I suffer.
But it is.
I mean, I don't know how I do it.
You suffer for your craft. You suffer for your craft.
Yeah, people have much smaller problems compared to my alarm clock and some sunshine waking me up.
Exactly. Well, it looks like we're going to see some sunshine today. It might mix with some clouds, but it's going to be another reasonably nice day today, correct?
Yeah, so it's one of those days where it's like, it's technically going to be mostly cloudy for the day, but and that makes it sound so much worse than it's going to be because there's still sun that is going to peek through at times, so it's still going to be pretty good overall. Getting up to 62 degrees for the high, so another warm one like it was yesterday. We're looking at, I put it on there, a stray shower this evening. I really mean that when I say a straight, like almost nothing. It might just be some mist, make it a quick sprinkle. I wouldn't even waste my time with like an umbrella or anything today because it's just not going to be enough to really impact your day at all. So I would just focus on the warm, and then it's just going to be warm. I mean, that's pretty good. Then even warmer the next few days here, 66 tomorrow, then up to 69 by the time we get to Friday. So just a few warm days, even warmer days coming up. And unfortunately, some showers coming this weekend. It looks like they're starting around like in Friday evening, and then they'll pick up overnight and give us more rain for Saturday morning. But they'll start to taper off as we get throughout your day on Saturday. And then by Sunday, it's spring and the sun comes back out, and highs are back in the mid-50s.
I mean, a really warm week. We're talking about really upper 60s for most of the week this week, down to mid-50s for the weekend. But still, that's pretty nice. Back to 60, as you mentioned, on Monday. I mean, so we really are watching a nice warming trend here. And I know you can't tell us for sure, but boy, I hope this might be the beginning of the end of winter now, that we've had the big snow, or we had a snow over the weekend, put that behind us, moving the temperatures up now into the 60s, 70s, pushing 70 on Friday, looking like spring as I look at your 7-day graphic here. Let's just keep it there. And spring officially comes, of course, on Sunday. So then we're officially into spring. The
good news is, looking out farther past from where we are now, I mean, as you know, the farther out you get, the less accurate anything is. But just looking at general trends, for the next several weeks here, we're supposed to stay above average for temperatures, which should help with everything. It's also you might have a cold day in there, but we will probably, like I've said this a million times, not to be a Debbie Downer, we'll probably see at least one more snowflake before the season's over, but I'm going to guess that's our last bothersome snow, if that makes sense.
That's a good phrase to use. Our last bothersome snow. I like that. I was watching Zach last night, trying hard not to say this is the last snow. You know, it was like, I think it might be, but I don't know that it really is. And, you know, weatherman really can't say for sure. I hope it's not. I hope it is the last. But it was kind of fun. He was trying so hard to say, oh, I want this to be the last snow, but I can't guarantee it's the last snow. And it was just kind of fun watching him struggle with how he's going to keep us upbeat. Yeah.
Eloquently. To try to get in there and not promise anything.
Exactly. How do you dodge promising anything but still leave people feeling good and optimistic? Well, this forecast for the week looks pretty optimistic, though. Aaron, I like the sound of it. We're a little warmer than usual. Is that right? A little warmer than normal?
Yeah, so normally we'd be at 49 for the high. So we're actually...
we're a lot more warmer. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, who's complaining? Not me.
No, I'm perfectly okay with it. Perfectly okay with it. All right, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have yourself a great day. Continue to bring us good weather, and I'll let you come back again and again.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to retire soon, too. So,
hey, do it for 20 hours. I found it to be enjoyable. Just a short break. Remember, the trend has now been started by Tom Brady. It's okay to make a big announcement about your retirement, and people can send you accolades and write letters, and maybe they'll give you a plaque or something. And the next day,
my boss is listening to this. I was given approval to retire for 20 hours. So when I don't come in tomorrow morning, don't be shocked.
Now, keep in mind, I never missed a show. I didn't retire till after the show, and I rehired myself before the show. But it was a good 20 hours. It was a good 20 hours. It was a good 20 hours. All right, Aaron, appreciate it. Good talking to you. Talk to you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
Everyone, have a good one, guys.
Aaron Myler, Big 7, WTRF TV. Again, off the text line, 304-214-1600. Biffy, there are just people who I just don't think like me. Howard, stop with the retirement joke. Wasn't funny the first time you did it. Isn't funny the 35th time you did it. I don't know. I thought it kind of was. Maybe not. Maybe not. Now, keep in mind that text is from the same one who yesterday texted me, please stay retired, do it for the Valley. So I think we kind of know where that person's coming from. All right, it is 7 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Biffy, boys basketball tournament starts today, right? In West Virginia?
Yes, it does. First game at 9:30 this morning.
We've got a couple of teams that we'll be looking at, and a couple we'll be following as well, right?
Yeah, we have 5 of them that we will be following, and 3 of them actually play tonight, starting at 5 o'clock. James Monroe taking on Madonna, and then Polka taking on Magnolia. That's going to be a tough one for Magnolia.
Let me go back to Polka.
Oh.
What is that?
That's they're a force to be reckoned with in Double A, and unfortunately for Magnolia, they get them right off the get-go. So yeah, that's if there was a team you probably did not want to start the tournament against, it would be Polka, and unfortunately, they're the 1 seed in Double A, and unfortunately, Magnolia will get them tonight. And then Cameron, the boys, they will be taking on Huntington St. Joe's. So those are the 3 of the 5 play tonight in the evening session in Charleston. And then Wednesday night, the Maroon Knights are in action. They will be taking on Grafton. They are the last game of the Wednesday session. That's scheduled to start at 9, but wouldn't be surprised if that's like 9:15 or 9:20. So
right.
Going to be a long night Wednesday for Wheeling Central fans. And then we got to take note of this. On Thursday morning, Parkersburg South and Wheeling Park. They are the first game of the day on Thursday, which means they will play at 9:30, but pregame will be at 9:06.
So we'll turn things over to them early in the morning on Thursday.
Yeah, so basically on Thursday we'll be done at 9 on Thursday to make way for Parkersburg South and Wheeling Park. So those are the 5 teams that we have. Again, 3 of them tonight: Madonna, Magnolia, and Cameron. Wheeling Central Wednesday night, and Wheeling Park to start the day on Thursday morning.
So let's take just a quick analysis, Biffy. You mentioned that Magnolia's got a tough run against Polka. That's going to be an issue. Let's talk about Central and talk about Wheeling Park and Cameron in particular. What are your thoughts on their chances of moving forward?
Both Cameron and Wheeling Central. That's the 4-5 matchup. So those games are usually toss-up games. If Wheeling Central plays like they played last week, it's going to be a short trip in Charleston. So hopefully practicing Wheeling Central, their practices have gone well leading up to the trip down to Charleston. And I hate to say it if you're the Cameron boys, but, man, you got a lot of pressure on you after seeing what your girls' team did last week. So maybe the girls will give the boys a little bit of motivation down there tomorrow night and as they start their run. And then Wheeling Park and Parkersburg South, that's always a tough one.
That's always a big game.
Yeah, that's always a big game between those 2 teams. And I'll go ahead and continue with the bad jokes, but on Thursday, I guarantee you this, the Patriots are going to win.
Wasn't funny the first time, Biff. Won't be funny the 35th time.
I thought I'd just get that out of the way right now between Parkersburg South and Wheeling Park. So
it won't be the last time we'll use it over the next couple of days. You know, that's okay.
That's my one, and that'll be it for me.
All right, so we've got a lot of high school basketball for you coming up this week, and it starts tonight. Triple header really this evening, beginning at 5 o'clock, shortly after 5 o'clock, and continuing all into the evening. Stick around and then listen to the games. Remember, you can listen on AM 1600, AM 1370, FM 97.7, FM 98.1. All depends on what part of the valley you're in, which stations you listen to. If you have any trouble hearing them on air, because we do reduce some power at night, our FM stays up, but the AM reduces power at night, simply listen to TuneIn Radio or to our watchdognetwork.com website, where we have streaming audio available for you right there. So there are lots of ways for you to listen. If you have any trouble hearing it over the air, online is available for you. And it's going to be a very, very busy week of high school basketball. And as this week begins, we wish all the teams good luck. We wish all the local teams better luck. That's the way I think I'll put it. It's also March Madness time, my friends, and I want to remind you, you can protect yourself against upsets in your March Madness bracket with the March Madness Bracket Parlay Insurance, courtesy of FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, all customers get up to $25 back every day if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls just 1 leg short. You know, parlays are great because you can turn a small bet into a big payday by combining them with some of the other bets in a parlay. And with cash out, the ball is in your court, so you can close out your bet whenever you want, even before the game is over. If you're new to FanDuel, just use my name and row in the promo code box, and then you can bet the bracket all tournament long. I do have to remind you, you must be 21 or older. You must be physically present in West Virginia. If exactly 1 leg loses, the refund is issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. The NCAA wager is required. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Remember, if you have a gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER or www.1800gambler.net. 8 o'clock on the Watchdog Morning Show.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
From ABC News, I'm...
Excuse me. Okay, good. I'm not sure how long it continues, so let me know. Okay. And we've got Dale Lee at 9:15. Of course, he likes us to call him. You have his number, or do I have to give it to you? Okay. Yep, he's at 9:15. And listen, when Tom calls, will you tell him I have not received his email yet? Maybe that might give him time while you talk to him to send it to me. It's no big deal if I don't get it. I can wing it, but he usually sends me an email, and I haven't gotten it yet. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So Capitol Report, then Tom, Dale at 9:15, and then 2 short days for the next couple of days. So that's good. How's Bill this morning? Yeah. He's home now, right? Oh, okay. I thought Kayleen, last time I talked to him, he was in the hospital, but that was last week. I thought Kayleen told me he was maybe he got home and had to go back again. Jeez, Oh, boy. Poor Bill. Poor Bill. Okay. All right. Yeah, he was calling me for a good while. He hasn't called me for most of the week, so I didn't know what was going on. I don't know what the final upshot of this is going to be, Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I wish him well personally. I've been through all that, not as bad as he has, or not the same kind of stuff, but I understand how miserable it can be. I also just wish we had some sense of timing here, But everybody's ready. Everybody seems to be playing it by ear okay, so I guess that's good. I know Donnie and Bob are happy to have their Friday gig, so. Yep. All right. All right, we'll do capital report and then Tom. All right, thanks.